Did you know that every 28 days, the moon completes its own cosmic journey of transformation? Just like the star-powered rhythm, we are too being called to shed what no longer serves us. This week's powerful astrology brings us face to face with our own metamorphosis. Welcome to your star forecast for the week of Monday, the 10th of February. I'm your host and astrologer, Kristy Gray. Welcome to a fresh week, Stellar Honeys, and an exciting new format on the Cosmic Hotline. I'm syncing with the universal energies to bring you your weekly dose of cosmic wisdom, designed to help you set your week up for success. This week's cosmic weather is particularly dynamic, with several major planetary shifts that will influence how we communicate, connect, and the core theme of this week, transform. So let's dive into what the stars have in store for us. We begin this week with Mercury in Aquarius, forming a challenging square to Uranus and Taurus. Think of this as a cosmic wake-up call, pushing us to break free from stagnant routines and embrace innovative solutions. You might feel a pull between your desire for stability and the universe's push for change. The most important thing to remind yourself as the week begins is to ask yourself, what outdated patterns am I ready to release? Now, the spotlight this week is on the full moon in Leo, and this will be arriving just after midnight on February the 13th, Australian Standard Time. And this isn't just any full moon. It's creating a powerful T-square formation with the Sun in Aquarius and Uranus in Taurus. So I'm guessing this is likely going to amplify emotions and it's going to influence your relationship dynamics. So if you've been feeling unseen in your relationships, I'm talking personal, professional, intimate, you name it, you're going to be likely wanting to create more authentic connection. So this lunation is going to bring any feelings or anything unresolved to the surface. So if you are in a significant relationship, whether it's personal or professional, but somebody that you hold a contractual agreement with, so that could be your employer, a business partnership, or maybe it's the relationship with your significant other. It's an opportunity to have honest conversations this week, especially if things have felt a little crunchy. And because this is a full moon in Leo, it does revolve around recognition and appreciation. So my question for you is, do you feel seen and heard in the relationship? And does something need to change? And also, how do you have 100% together? I love what Brene Brown shares in her work. And she always says that relationships, it's bullshit if you think they're 50-50. It's about how do you have 100% together? Because some days you know that you're going to have more fuel or energy in your reservoir. You're feeling good because you've hit your morning routines. And of course, that's going to impact how you show up in your relationships. Maybe that's the day when you're running at 80 to 100%. Whereas your partner or your business partner, or maybe it's your child, like an important relationship to you where they don't have as much energy. Of course, on those days, you're able to overcompensate. You're able to lift them higher. But what does that look like when that is in role reverse? Because I meet so many people where they give and give and give, and they're always the ones that have 80 to 100% in the relationship. So it's really important to take a step back this week and have a look at your relationship dynamics. And of course, assess what you think may need to change. Now, if you are single, again, great time to go out and connect and meet new people. But when you're looking to form connections this week, again, whether it's going to a local fitness studio or maybe you're jumping on the dating apps because you're wanting to go on a date, is look for how you can create meaningful connection. The only caveat I will share with you is just be mindful not to let this intense energy that's percolating get the better of you. Because guess what? The energy, as always, will shift, and it's going to shift on Valentine's Day the next day. Because Mercury, our planet of communication, will be gliding into the constellation of Pisces. So it's going to soften our communication style, as this transit is always loaded with empathy and intuition. So think of this transit as the universe's way of helping us heal any relationship tension. And that could have surfaced during the full moon, or it could have been building up towards the full moon. So it really is as if the stars are providing us with emotional subtitles to help us to better understand each other. But as you know, I always share this, nothing exists in isolation in astrology. Everything is always interconnected. And I want us to explore where we're at in our astrological cycle for this month. Because if we look towards next week, Mars is preparing right now to station direct in the constellation of Cancer, because it's been in retrograde since 2024. And the Sun is finalizing its transit in Aquarius this week before it moves into the mystical waters of Pisces next week. So knowing that we're at the end of these transits and we have these upcoming shifts, it's a beautiful reminder for all of us that transformation isn't always about dramatic change. Sometimes it's about allowing ourselves to flow with life's natural rhythms. So before we wrap up today, I wanted to leave you with 3 questions to contemplate this week. And the first one is, what old habits, emotional reactions, or defensive behaviors do you want to let go of? Like, what have you learned during this Mars retrograde cycle? What areas have remained stagnant that you've needed to dive deeper and explore how you can do things differently? The second question is, how can you find balance between your daily routines and living your life right now? Because sometimes we can swing from one end of the pendulum to the other. I know for me personally that I do. Sometimes I can be completely rebellious and not want to follow a routine whatsoever. And then other days I need to stick to my routine because it gives me a faux sense of control. So how can you find the sweet spot between the two? That really is the flavor when we have a very Uranian week like we do this week. And last question. What dreams or intuitive messages have been trying to reach you? And how might you create space to receive them? Remember, as author Frank Herbert once said, there is no real ending. It's just the place where you stop the story. This week, you get to choose which stories you're ready to conclude and which new chapters you're ready to begin. I want you to get ready though, because the energy is well and truly shifting, and there's something new out there on the horizon waiting for you. Thank you for tuning in to the Cosmic Hotline for your weekly dose of cosmic wisdom. I hope you have a stellar week ahead, and I'll be back next week with a brand new forecast for you. So until then, keep exploring the stars within and without.